Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to this feminine platform, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber to our soft power community, then hello and hi and welcome. So a lot of my followers have been asking me to respond to this entire Cam Newton and Nick Cannon melodrama and to add some much needed nuanced perspective to this same topic in a different font and to this very circular conversation, and that is men who drop it low and men who spread their seed wide. Now, off rip, if you've been on this platform long enough, we all know that the likes of a Cam Newton and a Future and a Nick Cannon and even the billionaire Elon Musk, who has 12 children by 3 different women, we know that these men are not husband material. Nick Cannon was married to Mariah Carey, and it did not work out, and Cam Newton writes in very confusing hieroglyphics. So neither one of these dudes are trying to be husband material. They love their singleness, and they also happen to love having lots and lots of kids. So what exactly is the issue here? Now, for house cleaning purposes, I am not into being preachy. I am not the womb police, and I am certainly not going to lose any hypergamous sleep over the personal dysfunctional choices of others, because if they like it, I love it. But this conversation has many tentacles, but I will do my best to address what seems to make so many women so mad, while at the same time offering up some conversational angles that always seem to be missing from these "why are you giving the milk away for free" baby mama conversations. Now, of course, I do not endorse the value system of rampant baby mama culture that has become a permanent part of how broken families are formed. And I do not recommend baby mama culture at all, especially if you are a poor woman without a support system. Because if you are a poor woman and your man is poor, you will struggle, you will have a suitcase full of problems, and it will not be pretty, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel. But of course, the consequences of baby mama culture and fathers who are not present will always be super dysfunctional and highly damaging for the kids, whom no one seems to long-term think about. And I will always believe that most people who are devoted parents, who are in love, who are emotionally adjusted, and who are committed to each other in a married two-parent home is the ideal environment for successful parenting, where the child's needs are being met and where the child can see a healthy example of the masculine and the feminine divine in harmony. That is the ideal and will always be the ideal. But as we all know, we live in a very flawed and a very immature and a very stagnant kind of culture that seems to be growing more and more ignorant by the day. That is unfortunately influenced by a lot of dumbery. But I will roll the clips that have sent the professional arguers of the internet into a tizzy, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
A lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
Okay, so I'm not married. I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I just want God
by
to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay.
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies.
Therefore, I have dealt with some people that balance me and are equally yoked. And at times, have I been manipulative and prey on certain things? Yes, because I'm a man.
Right.
And
but not all men do that. We don't want to blanket all men.
And I was taking
all men do not prey and manipulate. Not all men.
First of all humans prey and manipulate, but in a man in a relationship,
not in a praying way. Not in a praying way.
If I see that I can say, okay, I feel like I need this and this person has this, I'm going to do and say whatever I need to do to get that.
But all due respect, seriously, to all the women that you've encountered, ladies, I'm saying this, the reason why it's worked for you is because you have chosen and to prey on low functioning women who don't have the emotional intelligence. No, I'm going there, who will allow you to do that, Nick. And when I say allow, it's not a control thing. When I say allow, I'm not saying that she sits across you and says, this is what you won't do, you're crossing a boundary. Nick.
I disagree.
So Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, bless her heart, tried to do her version of mild shaming and some course correction while still remaining as ladylike as humanly possible in these sit-down interviews, and I commend her for that. But these men are clearly already too far gone when it comes to the gaggle of children that they have created and will continue to create. Now, I know that a lot of irrational, unhinged women are ear hustling, but please keep in mind that Future, Nick Cannon, and Cam Newton are not your average garden variety struggle love dusties. They are a part of the 1% class of successful, high earning men. But unfortunately, in the Black community, celebrity is such a huge source of influence, inspiration, and aspiration. And therefore, the things that they say and do are very influential and persuasive, which is exactly why these men deserve to be chewed, because their immaturity and their attitudes as men who are very visible and who are pedestalized leaders is so bottom shelf and secondhand embarrassing, because with their visible influence comes a lot of persuasive power. So the issue, of course, with these men like Cam Newton and Nick Cannon is that they are unapologetically doing them, and they are more than willing to die on their own hill to defend their wrong and strong, who gonna check me ratchet choices. So the question now becomes, why do women who know that babies do not come from the stork, why do they sign up for the lifelong bid of the baby mama assignment? Why make yourself a temporary rental, a concubine, or a part of a man's harem? Why settle for a man who openly collects women like baseball cards? And I am so glad that you asked. When a woman plays Pick Me Boots games, she will win Pick Me Boots prizes. And some feathers may be ruffled to hear this, but you can go argue with your dirty microwave. But men with power and money and status and stature really don't have to do much when it comes to women, because not only will the beautiful women come to them, but the women will either lower their standards or throw their standards out of the nearest window for the opportunity to gain access to a successful man's seed and his DNA, or to gain access to a successful man who can give her and her children the status, the stature, and the elevation, and at a base level, the money or the resources that most women desire, because that is what it means to be hypergamously wired. Again, if you don't like to hear it, don't argue with me, argue with the wall, because when it comes to a man's status and stature, I've been saying this since the beginning of day one on this platform, and you can ignore it all you want, your choice, but women are competitive and comparative, and they will chase that stature if that is what it will take for them to level up or to get access to that rest or that feminine leisure.
Now that everything is done, I'm gonna put my baby to sleep. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what brings you guys joy, but it really brings me joy to serve. I love being a servant. I love to serve. It just brings me joy. I love it. I love serving. I love it. I love it. I don't give a damn. I'll be up at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, cooking breakfast, serving. I just love that. I love it. Yeah, it's like, it just gives me purpose. And now with the new baby, now I just feel even more purposeful, especially.
And yes, many of your girlfriends will talk a good game, and many of them are going to wag their neck about having standards and about not letting a man play them to the left. But guess what? Your girlfriends have secrets, and they have opposing thoughts, and those thoughts are the opposite of what they say out loud. This is why a woman only gets up from the table when she is full. And this is why a woman will be a red balloon to the clown that she loves. So your friends will show you exactly who they are and what type of time they are really on. And they will show you exactly who they are when that money and that status is staring them right in the face. I personally believe that not too many women are ready to have a real honest conversation about their desire for status and stature and about what they are willing to do to get next to it. But money, status, and stature are what women are naturally wired to be attracted to in the game of hypergamy. The truth is, status is an aphrodisiac. That is why the top men can have who they want without ever having any intentions on marrying any of these women. And those baby mama conquests, who are not dumb, but who are as quiet as a church mouse, are more than willing to placeholder themselves. And in many circumstances, and yes, I'm going to go there, many women are more than willing to share that man as long as they and their children have access to those resources, because their self-preservation has kicked in and they see these men as the prize. So even though Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was trying to appeal to the moral compass of these men. They do not care because you don't exactly hear their baby mamas complaining or crying about it either. Because the only time that you will hear a baby mama crying is when a baby mama is poor, or when her deadbeat goes ghost, or when the money dries up. As for Cam and Nick Cannon, these men are not high value, but they are high earners, and they have every right to not want to be married. So the women like Jasmine Brown, who sign up for this trade, really do not have any power or recourse but to sit it out and wait, or to walk away. But right about now, as bruising as it may be to her ego, unless she walks away, the placeholder status is the only option that she can settle for, because Cam Newton made it quite clear that she is not his last stop at the baby making rodeo.
And this is the kicker. I want more.
By multiple women? What's the intent
I
of
just
this saying,
want
or by
God
your
to bring
wife?
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay.
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
Jazz, who is, surprise, surprise, 35 years old, wanted her own biological child, and so she switched up her tune, and she cashed in her hypergamous coins, and she settled for her bundle of joy over a marriage. And now her internet cousins are having a good old cackle over her baby mama stature, and over the fact that Cam may or may not marry her. But Jazz won't be the first woman to settle for a child, nor will she be the last, because for every woman screaming about not wanting to be a baby mama, there are hundreds, thousands, and tens of thousands of women who say one thing and do another, who'd be more than willing to be in Jasmine's placeholder shoes, and serial baby makers like Nick Cannon, Cowboy Newton, and Elon Musk know it. And lastly, I wanted to share with you my magic box theory, so grab a pen and take notes, because this free 99 subscription belief and a mindset that many amateur women have, where they confuse sexual interest with actual investment. And I want you ladies to stop doing that. You give a man free 99 access, hoping that by throwing it in a circle that this is going to change his mind, and that it is going to make a man want to give you his last name, and that this free 99 access will somehow magically make a man invest and commit to only you. But that bedroom access will not change how a man feels about you, because for the bajillionth time, men are not built like women. They do not get attached to women by sex alone. And yes, a man will placeholder you as long as you allow it, without shame or guilt. This is how the game works. We have seen countless time and time again examples of men who are willing to sleep with women without investment or commitment, yet most women want to see themselves as the exception to the rule until they are put out to pasture in that embarrassing placeholder position, and that is never fun, and I really hope that doesn't happen to Jasmine. So that is all that I have to say on this for now, and I said a mouthful, but to get this conversation started, are broken homes created only by men, or does it take two to tango? Are men with gobs of money the prize? And will a man change for the woman that he wants to marry? And as always, I thank you for liking, I thank you for listening, and I thank you for watching and for subscribing to our feminine community. And please stay tuned for more videos to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.
Just would like to say that it's actually completely okay that every man doesn't find you valuable. You need to be concerned with the man that you find valuable and you're choosing, that's also choosing you. Every man out here is not for you. And it's completely okay for him to look at your overall situation and say, I don't want it. It doesn't matter what the you bringing to the table. If that's not what he wanted at his table, he has every right and reason to say, I'm good. The same way you can look at a man that got money, that's attractive, that all your homegirls like, girl, you tripping, and you like, nah, I'm okay. Like, I don't want him. Every man don't gotta want you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and unfortunately, we internalize like mass opinion and mass criticism and shit. You're an individual that I assume is seeking to be in relationship with another individual. That's the only you need to worry about. It's only one seat. And most of these dudes, if we talking about real compatibility, doing life together, skill sets, most of these dudes not for you. The same way most of these women, not for most of these men. Bro, it's a few people you can really do life with.
You will never get your heart broken again, and you will never have to heal again. If you leave someone exactly where they had you messed up, or if you leave someone the moment they show who they are, you will never have to heal again. The only time you have to heal from a situation is if you allow that person to have you messed up over and over and over again when you literally saw the red flags. That's the only reason you have to heal, is because you constantly let disrespect happen when you saw it for what it was. And you will literally never have to heal again. You could leave this relationship and go straight into the next one because they did not meet the requirements that you were looking for. And so now we're done. You're cut. You're on to the next. It wouldn't be a bad thing because you literally don't have to heal, because you didn't let them disrespect you and you literally didn't waste your time.